This is the extract on the Sunday Times. Harry, Meghan, and the Sussex Survivors Club. We were played. Put upon palace aides insist they tried to help the Duke and Duchess and handle a string of PR disasters, which I guess that the Montecito duo is no strange to them, but the couple ditched them anyway, reveals Valentine Lowe in our second extract from this book. So let's begin. I thought that Harry had I'm not gonna say what I was thinking. I'm gonna begin. Let's start here. It is normally a standard part of a royal tour, the moment when the royals venture to the back of the plane where the media sit to say hello and have a chat. But the tour of the South Pacific by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in 2018 was different. It had started with a bang, with the announcement that Meghan was pregnant. Oh my God, that kind of things, Meg. And the couple had proved extremely popular in Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, and Tonga. Nevertheless, Harry had looked out of sorts. Like normal Harry in the past, 6 years. His relations with the media pack had been prickly and strained, where Meghan smiled, always putting on her best face whenever she was on show. Harry glowered. On the 5-hour flight back from Tonga to Sydney, his press handlers promised that he would come and thank the media for being there. Oh, thanks for being here, the media, It was only after the plane had landed that the couple finally appeared. This is good. This is my favorite part. I remember the scene well. Harry looked like a sulky teenager. Meghan stood behind him, smiling benignly. Her only contribution was a comment about how much everyone must be looking forward to Sunday lunch at home. Harry sounded rushed, as if he couldn't wait to get back into the first-class cabin. "Thanks for coming," he said, "even though you weren't invited." Oh, what a gentleman. How classy, Harry. How classy of you, speaking like that. He really did not want to be there. We know that. This was spectacularly rude and incorrect. The media had been invited to cover the tour. Later, Harry's staff told him how badly his remarks had gone down. He replied, "Well, you shouldn't have made me do it." What? What a spoiled brat. And we're talking about 2018. 2018, and Harry was acting like this. What was going on with him? Harry's petulant behavior revealed much about the couple's deteriorating relationship with their own staff. So bad did things eventually become that Harry and Meghan's team would later refer to themselves as the Sussex Survivors Club. I should make a shirt about that, Sussex Survivors. I'm a Sussex survivor. The core member were Sam Cohen, whom the Queen had personally asked to step in the Queen had personally asked to step in as private secretary, and who worked for the couple from after their wedding until the end of their South Africa tour in September 2019. That man stood the test of time. Sarah Latham, the former Fruits PR managing partner, hired in 2018 to be in charge of communications, and assistant press secretary Marnie Gaffney. Sources say, the team came up with a damning epithet for Meghan, a narcissistic sociopath. I'm going to say this. That is not very creative, but it's very effective and precise. A narcissistic sociopath. They also reportedly said on repeated occasions, "We were played. Well, how many people would have said this about being with Meghan or working with Meghan? We were played. Yeah, Harry is loco. The Sussex Diva Club. Oh, they worked with what they had. Yes, they couldn't do much more. Diamond earrings with an ugly provenance. Despite being aware of tension in the air, none of the media on the plane realized quite what was going on behind the scenes on that South Pacific tour. One key incident that sheds light on the relationship between Meghan and her closest aides occurred in Fiji, when Harry and Meghan attended a state dinner hosted by President Giorgi Conrote, to which the Duchess wore an eye-catching pair of chandelier diamond earrings. Kensington Palace told the press they had been loaned, but refused to say from whom. The reason for this reticence would not become apparent until more than 2 years later. The earrings had been given to the Duchess as a wedding present by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. You know, it was a bit uncomfortable to reveal. On October 2, shortly before the start of the tour, the journalist and dissident Jamal Khashoggi was murdered in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. The event became a major news story, with accusations that the Crown Prince had personally ordered the killing. The idea that Meghan would then, at a state occasion, wear earrings given to her by a man accused of having blood on his hands was surprising, to say the very least. Meghan's staff were bemused that she should wear them. The Kensington Palace briefing that the earrings were loaned was misleading. But who was responsible? Cohen told colleagues at the time that the earrings had been borrowed from the jeweler Chopard. It was not true. They had to lie to cover up for what Meghan was doing. You know that these people were putting their reputation on the line for Meghan. 3 weeks later, Meghan gave the earrings a second outing at Buckingham Palace at a 70th birthday party for Charles, then Prince of Wales. At that time, Cohen still appeared to be under the impression that they had been loaned by Chopard. However, others knew the truth. When they had first appeared in the media after the Fiji dinner, staff in London, responsible for registering details of all royal gifts, had recognized them and alerted Kensington Palace. A source said, "We made a decision not to confront Meghan and Harry on it out of fear for what their reaction would be." These people knew that this was a PR nightmare, that if this was known to the public, it would be a shitstorm. And even so, they were afraid to talk directly to Meghan and Harry because of any repercussions, because of the reaction. Like, you're going to be affected by this. But I think their staff knew deep inside that Meghan and Harry did not care about this, and the staff were going to get into much more trouble directly if they just confronted them about that. Oh, right. Yeah, we need to create gear for Sussex Survivors Club. I'm going to make a design myself about that. Revealed that this very weekend. After the Duchess wore the earrings for a second time, I like this, an aide decided to take it up with Harry. Very good. He said to have looked shocked that people knew where the earrings came from. What? Regular Harry. Although the Sussex's lawyers deny he was ever questioned about their provenance. Oh my God, this people had no clue. In February 2021, Meghan's lawyers, Schillings, said, "At no stage did the Duchess tell staff that the earrings were borrowed from a jeweler." as this would have been untrue, and therefore any suggestion that she encouraged them to lie to the media is baseless. 2 days later, Schilling said, "The Duchess is certain that she never said the earrings were borrowed from a jeweler. It is possible she said the earrings were borrowed, which is correct, as presents from heads of state to the royal family, from heads of state to the royal family are gifts to Her Majesty the Queen, who can then choose to lend them out to members of the family. But that is not convincing." And this is important. If the earrings were loaned by the Queen, the staff would have said so. It would have been a record. So, like, Meghan was doing whatever she wanted from the start, and no one in normal conversation would ever have referred to them as being loaned. They were a wedding gift for Meghan. So much trouble. I think yes. I think that Meghan has this cloak of, we don't want to repeat the same mistakes with that we made with Diana, so they let Meghan get away with many things. I mean, the royal family, the firm, let Meghan get away with many things. Say, well, maybe she will eventually come to her senses, but it was not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Meghan's lawyers also argued that she had no idea about Sheikh Mohammed's involvement in Khashoggi's murder. However, Meghan once told a gathering for International Women's Day that she read The Economist because she sought out journalism that's really covering things that are going to make an impact. Between mid-October and early November 2018, The Economist ran at least 2 articles examining the role of Sheikh Mohammed in Khashoggi's murder. So either she was lying about that, about reading The Economist. You can imagine Meghan reading The Economist. I don't picture her she reading The Economist, not at all. I picture her reading Twitter to find out what is people talking about her. Yeah, that's what she does all day long with her shadow accounts. Or she just did not pay attention. She just didn't care about the Khashoggi's murder. All right. Insane. Nice word for the Harkles. Insane row with a women's rights group. That was not the only time in Fiji when the public narrative did not match what was going on behind the scenes. While the couple were in the capital, Suva, the Duchess paid an official visit to a market, I remember that anecdote, to see a project run by UN Women to improve the lot of women working there. She was due to spend 15 minutes meeting women there. 15 minutes. That is a Peppa Pig episode, or a bit over a Peppa Pig episode. 15 minutes. I don't know. However, after just 8 minutes, an actual Peppa Pig episode, she was rushed out. The Kensington Palace press office was sent into a panic, with sources initially claiming that she had left early because of security fears. That was later changed to concerns about crowd management issues. No, I think she said, "Oh, I don't like being here. I don't like these women. I don't like this. Howie, get me out of here. I don't like this." Peppa Pig, more like Peppa Pig Porky Pies, the Lady Dragon Strike. You're always on point. Always on point. Howie, get me out of here. Another reason for her premature departure did not emerge until 2 years later, when I was told that it was because Meghan was concerned about the presence of the UN Women group, which she had previously worked with. The Duchess had earlier told her staff that she would go only if there was no UN Women branding, a source said. I wonder why. That is interesting. Before Meghan arrived at the market, staff did their best to reduce the visibility of the group. Meghan, why were you so afraid to bump into the UN women? What are you hiding? However, footage of the visit shows Meghan surrounded by women in blue tops bearing the UN Women logo. At one point, the Duchess, with a fixed smile, can be seen whispering to a member of staff who grimaces. Meghan told an aide, "I can't believe I've been put in this situation." Moments later, she was ushered out. A staffer remarked at the time, "That's insane. She is nuts." I have to highlight this. That is insane. She is nuts. This is great. This is great. How can I tell you this? This is great. That's insane. She is nuts. What's wrong with this woman? Why is she so concerned of being around UN women? What's the rift with them? One stallholder said, it is such a shame. We started preparing for the visit 3 weeks ago, but she left without even saying hello." Afterwards, the staff member to whom Meghan spoke at the market was seen sitting in an official car, tears streaming down her face. This was, I don't know. I hope they were taking strong stuff to withstand working with this woman. The coverage, including the headline, "Pregnant Duchess rushed from marketplace as crowds close in," caused massive consternation within Scotland Yard. The Metropolitan Police suggested flying out an officer to ensure she was being protected properly, despite private assurances from Kensington Palace that the incident had nothing to do with security. It had nothing to do with security. It had all to do with, what Meghan doesn't want to do, Meghan will not do. It's like the opposite of what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. You know that there's an exact opposite, like Sir Isaac Newton laws. So, the Duchess's head of security resigned from the Met a few months later. Why did the Duchess now appear to want to distance herself from UN women, you might be asking, and I am asking myself this. I haven't read this stuff. The reason is not known. In 2015, when she was an actress in Suits, Meghan had accepted an invitation to be a UN women advocate for women's political participation and leadership. But, when she wanted to make me an activist, make me a humanitarian, I want to be what. But, by 2018, she appeared to be less happy to be associated with the group. Her lawyers told the Times in 2021, "This is completely false. The Duchess is a keen supporter of UN women and has never objected to their branding. The only reason the Duchess was evacuated from the event was due to safety concerns. This was a decision made by her head of security. She met with other leaders from UN Women later in the South Pacific tour." Now,